Immigration officials say that anyone in Massachusetts illegally could be detained by ICE. Obviously, that's ICE's job, is to detain people that are here illegally. I don't want to get into like, oh, that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I saw the headline and was like, okay, tell me something I don't know. So we got a 4-minute video. I just want to play it. I haven't really watched it. If it gets boring, I'll start skipping to the good parts. So let's take a look.
Partners targeted the most dangerous alien offenders in some of the most crime-infested neighborhoods of Massachusetts. Our efforts resulted in the arrest of 1,461 criminal alien offenders. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
It looks like she's bragging that they arrested almost 1,500 illegals.
Massachusetts is a safer place today.
ICE revealing that federal agents have picked up nearly 1,500
Okay, so it was during the last month, and it was just the state of Massachusetts.
people in the state during a month-long surge operation. But the arrest people are talking about and protesting is the detention of a Milford teenager. Today, students at Milford High School walked out in support of Marcelo Gomez, demanding his release. He was picked up.
So I do want to go over this because we see a lot of these cases, whether it be like the Maryland father, or I think it was like a barber or something who got deported with like other gang members. And I just want to say, like, my stance on it is, if you came into the country illegally, you potentially might get deported because Trump is the president right now. And that really just is kind of how it is. So like, they make this appeal to like sympathy, and they're like, he got abducted on his way to volleyball practice, but it's like, did you expect ICE to not try to deport him if he came here illegally? That's kind of the problem, and that's kind of like how things are. So I do encourage you to keep that in mind. I think it's important to like be grounded and just understand like that's what's going on right now.
Driving to volleyball practice. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Lisa Hughes.
And I'm David Wade. Fellow authorities admitted today that Gomez was not the intended target of the operation, but they insist he is in the country illegally. We have a team coverage for you tonight, beginning with WBZ's Louisa Moeller. She's live for us in South Boston. And Louisa, it's really the first time that ICE has laid out what it's been doing.
David, Lisa, it was a sort of classic law enforcement demonstration. They had a poster with mugshots of the alleged criminals that they've arrested. But they also said plainly, for the first time I've heard in a press conference, that they are targeting anyone who is here illegally.
Maybe it's the first time they've straight out said it in a press conference, but what else have they been doing? I mean, that's exactly what they've been doing this whole time, but they didn't really need to say it at this point.
We are not just talking about the criminal element.
ICE is not going away. We are coming.
Also, this girl kind of cracks me up. I don't know who she is, and I don't want to make fun of her, but I could.
For you.
It started off as an ICE victory lap. Top Department of Homeland Security leaders touting the success of Operation Patriot.
Significant amount of the criminal aliens that were arrested by the teams were drug traffickers, sex offenders, murderers, and foreign fugitives.
Specifically, ICE says they arrested 1,461 offenders, 790 of them with what they call significant criminality. 277 were ordered removed from the U.S. by a judge. But the glaring question to officials, what about the other 671 people who were arrested?
All right, so we actually have stats here. This is really good. Try to remove any biases. Massachusetts, ICE detained 1,461 people detained in Massachusetts. So I wish that fact or that statistic or whatever said people that are here illegally detained in Massachusetts, because it does matter. 790 of them had criminal charges convictions. So half of, I mean, that's more than half. Think about it like statistically. They have a pretty good rate. Most of the people that they are detaining do have criminal charges. They aren't lying when they say they are going after the criminals. It's not anyone who is here or even got here illegally, they could potentially get detained and deported, but they are going after the criminals here. We do have stats that back it up right here. 277 had been ordered removed. So I guess you could really just add that to the 790. Maybe because they're not criminals, but again, that is ICE's job. So pretend it's not political for a fucking second, and you know what ICE is. Say there's like an order, like a judge orders that someone has to get removed from the country. That is ICE's job. If you want to say that's right or wrong, whatever, but that's what they do. So like to them, that's a job well done. They're all patting themselves on the back. Those are good numbers. The last number is the 671 other undocumented immigrants. Those are just ones that got caught up. And, that sucks. And you do have to keep that kind of stuff in mind. It's not a good time to be in this country if you're undocumented, because this might happen to you. You might get scooped up, and they might not even be looking for you. They just came across you. And someone made a statement. I think it's like the director of ICE, Human, I believe is his name. And he's like, if we raid a house looking for an illegal that has like a criminal record, and there's other illegals there that didn't do any other crimes other than come into the country illegally, we're going to get them too. So that's the 671 that ICE just kind of came across. So to like take out political leanings for a second, ICE as an agency like did a good job here, whether you support it or not. Those are like really good numbers.
When we go out into the community and we find others who are unlawfully here, we are going to arrest them. We've been completely transparent with that.
Right, that's what I was just saying. So, if they go into the community, they find people that are here illegally, they're going to get arrested. And that's what's going on. So be aware that is what's going on right now, not even just in Massachusetts, like in the country.
Has not provided a list of these people or their status, but told reporters anyone here illegally is fair game.
ICE doesn't just scoop people off the street and remove them.
See, like they're not trying to, but if they come across you, they will.
Everyone gets due process.
And more tension arose at the press conference when acting ICE Director Todd Lyons was asked about ICE activities such as wearing masks and clothing that does not always state where the agents are from.
People are out there taking photos of the names, their faces, and posting them online with death threats.
Arrests by ICE have drawn criticism for tactics such as smashing windows.
Don't you touch me.
Again, you have to think about this. Say you or like I were like in a police chase and I'm getting chased by the police, and I just pull over but I don't get out of the car, and they need to get me out of the car because I'm under arrest. What do? They break the window. Like if you're a criminal and the police are trying to arrest you, they might break a window. So again, like they try and like pander and make this out like they're bad. But ICE goes home at the end of the day and said, we did a good job. We got that guy. It's just politics that make people think like breaking a window to detain someone is like a bad thing to do, when in reality, it's exactly what they should be doing. That's their job.
Just last week, Keith Dixon says this video shows him being pushed down by ICE agents.
And I don't want to rant too much, but again, everyone does get due process. So if this is a video of someone who did get detained and who is going to get deported, that would mean that he entered the country illegally. And you just look at his face like he's surprised. But like, say they rounded him up and they found out he was a citizen, I'm sure they would just let him go. That's kind of what I'm saying. Anyway, this guy though, that's surprised, like probably is here illegally. And yeah, I'm not here illegally, but if I was, I might not even go outside. I mean, right now. Don't be surprised. It's like stuff like this is going to continue to happen. It's not surprising to me. It's surprising to me to see how surprised that guy looked.
In East Boston, as he says he accidentally came upon an arrest.
We were going down a one-way, and there were 3 or 4 cars coming at us the wrong way on the one-way at a high rate of speed. All I heard was get out of the way or move back. And I just looked to my right. Elizabeth was shoved, and then I was immediately pushed up against the...
So yeah, that is also an issue, like the ICE agents like kind of hiding their identity. So I'm sure they didn't say like police move back. I kind of do believe that witness in his testimony that they kind of just rolled up unannounced and just like disappeared this guy, as people say. Maybe it would be beneficial if they were more transparent. I mean, they do look like police. But I guess before you start grabbing people, like other police do, you should like identify your police, like hands up. Like maybe they did say that, maybe they didn't say that, but the witness did not say they said that.
Car.
The U.S. Attorney's message to activists or others trying to interrupt ICE: you will be charged.
It is a felony to threaten or assault a federal agent.
Governor Maura Healey says, give us.
So yeah, they are all federal agents. Have to announce themselves as like a federal agent.
More information.
ICE should be producing information about who has been arrested, what they've been charged with, what their circumstance was, and they should make that available to the public.
Also, there's the governor of Massachusetts saying, all right, everyone that ICE detained in my state, they should make the information on the case available to the public. My response to this is they don't have to. And if I were the governor, I think the best thing to do is maybe cooperate with ICE. Because ICE has said, I think it was the Human guy, like, cooperate with us. Otherwise, when we roll up and we don't know what we're doing, we're going to walk in and end up detaining more people because we don't have all the information on like the criminals that we want to get out of the streets. If you don't cooperate, if you're like a state governor, you're unwilling to cooperate with ICE, there might be repercussions. So it is not a good play, in my opinion, to go on the news and start demanding that ICE releases information of people they detained in your state. That's not a good look, and I don't think it will go well.
Now, Massachusetts law prevents local police from assisting ICE with immigration arrests.
So, like, that's kind of what I was just talking about. So, ICE doesn't get police support in Massachusetts. Right, that's exactly what I was saying. So, like, they don't get police support, ICE, in Massachusetts. Exactly what she's saying. They really need to go in there and like get their own information, because they don't have information, and it ends up making things worse. So not cooperating with ICE will just lead to more people being detained.
More people. Live in South Boston, Louisa Moeller, WBZ News.
Louisa, thank you.
That video had way more to it than I thought. That was a fantastic video.